All right, we'll go ahead and get started with our Busch Light pole sitter for tomorrow's NASCAR Cup Series race here at Iowa Speedway, the first NASCAR Cup Series race we will have here. Kyle, congratulations on starting on the pole. Tell us a little bit about your lap, and then we'll go to questions from the media.
Yeah, obviously happy to get the pole. You helped to go out last probably to, I'm sure the track was continuing to get a little bit better, and you got to watch SMT of everybody's run, so that helps, but it also, makes you a little bit more nervous when you see everybody out there struggling. So thankfully, my lap was mostly comfortable, a little bit loose like everybody was, but able to piece together 2 pretty consistent laps, and you'll be fast enough on that second lap to get it done.
All right, we'll go ahead for questions. We'll take our first question from Zach here in the middle.
Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Kyle, you've been able to get laps on this track and this surface more than most, and see it in a ton of different sort of conditions now. How much more prepared do you feel like your number 5 team is compared to what the rest of the field is?
Yeah, I just got asked that question out on pit road, and I don't know. I don't think it benefits really. I mean, I guess it'd be hard to argue that it benefited us because we got the pole, but I mean, I don't think it mattered because the track was so different. When we were here a couple weeks ago, like I think we tested for 7 hours or so, and the first probably 4.5 hours were like not even remotely close to what it is this weekend. And even by the end of it, like it still felt way different yesterday than it ever did yesterday. So if anything, I think you'll get led down the wrong road by testing here a few weeks ago. So, but our team, we've got great teammates to rely on, and a couple of them were really fast yesterday, so got to study what they had and talk, and I think we've made our car better, and obviously I think our performance last week helped for qualifying this week, getting to go out last.
All right, we'll go to Bob and then to Nate.
Bob Hockris, Fox Sports. Obviously some are having some tire issues here. Some of the talk is that it's just there's more grip and you're going about a second faster than you were in the test. I'm curious, are you surprised?
But we aren't.
What?
I said we aren't going any faster.
You're not?
No.
Okay.
No, we're not. Like at the end of the run, the end of practice, or end of test, yeah, I mean, we're going the same, if not a little slower from what I remember.
Okay. So, I mean, does the track feel much different than it was at the test?
So how I felt yesterday in practice was, to start practice, I think all of us, it was really slick, and I felt very loose, which is kind of how I felt when we started the test. The track was brand new, hadn't seen a car go around it yet, and it was like oily feeling and slick. So I kind of felt that way when practice started. And then by the very end of practice, I thought it gained some grip and got closer to what the test was, which the test I felt like, we didn't get to do like a 50-lap run yesterday. So I felt like the track was fairly similar by the end of it. But no, as far as lap times, we weren't, going any faster than we were at the last hour of that test.
All right, Nate.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Kyle, you've spent a lot of time racing in the Midwest, and especially in this state. How would you describe the Midwestern race fan as compared to other race fans, and how deserving do you feel like they are finally having a Cup short track race for the first time in decades?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Midwestern fans, not only from Iowa but all the other states around this region, are really into racing, whether it be sprint car, midget, dirt late model, stock cars, and I think they've been starving for a Cup race, especially here. So yeah, I think all of us, even drivers included, wanted to race here. So I think across the board, we're all really happy to finally get a Cup race here and get to run. We probably all wish it would have come earlier so we could have raced on the older pavement, but regardless, I think it's great for this fan base and awesome too that Knoxville's racing this weekend, and it's one of the final kind of tune-ups for traveling teams to get ready for nationals. So if you aren't a sprint car fan, you can go there and catch some awesome racing and get introduced to that side of motorsport too. So yeah, it's a cool weekend for for Midwestern race fans.
And to follow up on Knoxville, if I'm permitted a sprint car question. So last night, how disappointing was it? I mean, it seemed like you had the bottom working and you were leading, and then the engine goes. Was that just take us through what happened?
Yeah, no, it's sure it's disappointing to have a part failure, but at the same time, I think everybody there is more focused on Knoxville Nationals. So we had a lot of speed, and we were able to drive from 10th to the lead and pass some really good cars. So I was probably not as disappointed as you might think, because we were fast, and that means hopefully we'll be fast when we come back in August. So yeah, I was happy with that. I still would like to qualify a lot better. We always suck at qualifying, so yeah, we don't. I would love to get that part of the program better, but at least when it comes to racing at Knoxville, we're really, really fast.
Was it just an engine thing?
Yeah, it broke a rod.
All right, any final questions? Okay, we'll come up front.
Kyle, to go off in Knoxville again too, were you aware of how much faster you had pace-wise than gravel last night, and how much confidence does that give you looking forward to nationals?
No, I mean, I didn't know, like, when I broke and I came in the pits, they said that once I got the lead, I pulled away a lot. And then, yeah, I mean, he was catching me because I got to traffic when, the rubber was coming and was, kind of just stalling out to be behind them. I was hoping, had I not blown up, I was going to be able to lap the 6 and Carson and then just get down to the bottom, because I knew the rubber was coming in 3 and 4. So, no, I felt good about it. Gravel looked really good, though. He was probably the next best for sure. But, as he's been there the last, however many years. So, but yeah, no, we just got to get qualifying a little bit better, make the night easier. You have to, like an outlaw program, you start in the 3rd row, like, you're not going to have an opportunity to win too often, which we just got kind of fortunate last night in the heat race.
And then have your thoughts changed on the repave here? Are you still a bit pessimistic on what we might see as an on-track product goes on Sunday? Or I guess what are your thoughts going into what we might see now that you've been on track?
Well, I think there's still so much unknown, so I think that's exciting for probably race fans and all that. Even drivers, there's probably more drivers in the field that feel like they have an opportunity to have a good run, because, if this place was probably old, wore out, bumpy, your Hendrick team, your Gibbs teams, like, they're going to be the ones dominating. Where now I feel like, and especially with qualifying, you're shaking up the order and all that, I think the starting lineup's a little bit odd. So, yeah, I think more teams probably feel like they have an opportunity. So, yeah, and then there's pit strategy stuff that goes along with it. So there's just more opportunity across the board. Obviously, I think the drivers would have more fun with the old surface, but you can't. What's the point of worrying about that at this point? You can't put the old surface back down.
All right, any final questions? I think I got everybody. Okay, we'll take our final question here in the back.
Dan Taylor, Front Stretch Podcast in Omaha. Congratulations on staying perfect at Eagle Raceway. What's the big difference with the track from your tire test to this weekend? Well, I guess why are the tires blowing and having so much
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about car setup, but I would assume you're talking to like Cliff, it just sounds like more of a low air problem that most teams are probably just pushing that. But again, that's all just speculation. I don't know if any Hendrick cars had any issues. At least blown tires I know we didn't have, but any, when they cut tires and stuff and all that, I don't know if there's any, damages that were done to the tire that, had we run, maybe they would have blown. But it sounds like maybe it's just kind of car setup, air pressure sort of things.
All right, Kyle, thank you again for spending time with us.
Thanks.
And best of luck tomorrow in the Iowa Corn 350.